Academic integrity is important because universities and colleges need to be able to reward good work and good behavior with grades, praise, and references. At a basic level, grades help to determine who passes courses and who graduates from programs. But even among successful graduates, grades play a role in giving information to prospective employers and postgraduate programs such as law schools, medical schools, teachers' colleges, and graduate schools. So if you earn a grade through hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance, and then someone else gets that same grade through falsification, plagiarism, and cheating, they will seem, on paper, to be just as good a candidate for future work and positions as you are. So academic dishonesty falsely inflates grades and improves outcomes for people who didn't really deserve the improvement. It's not a victimless crime. That's why universities and colleges impose such strong consequences. Cheating, falsifying, or plagiarizing is just not worth the risk. Depending on your school and on the type of academic dishonesty in question, the consequences might be a grade of 0 on the assignment, failure in a course, or even expulsion from your school. There have also been cases where academic dishonesty has been discovered years after graduation and has resulted in the revocation of a former student's degree. In cases where it happens, being stripped of your degree is highly embarrassing and professionally costly. It's important that you don't just see academic integrity as something trivial, as a set of rules to be skirted and navigated until you can get away with graduation. There can be consequences outside of academia too. You may have seen a news story about the impersonator who forged documents in order to take someone else's final exam. They were caught, identified, and faced criminal charges for fraud. The student in question faced severe academic consequences. To give another example, several high-profile public figures have been caught plagiarizing other people's writing. In more than one case, for example, it's been alleged that a prominent leader in education had committed plagiarism in major research projects as a part of his or her education. Such figures have typically resigned in disgrace. Even if you can get away with it at the time, faking documents, forging transcripts, or otherwise misrepresenting your way into success in higher education can catch up to you eventually. In other examples, the kinds of misrepresentations that matter in education also matter in the workplace, in professional arenas, and in our wider society. There are plenty of stories about prominent journalists who have faced accusations of plagiarism. As people who write stories and give insight for a living, it can be professionally devastating to be caught improperly using someone else's ideas or writing and presenting it as if it's your own, even if just by mistake or through sloppiness. Part of the problem in these cases is that not enough attention is paid to the careful process of reading, thinking, arguing, articulating, and giving credit. Too much of a focus on the product makes it tempting to skip steps and do half-hearted work. When it comes to education, like other endeavors, the product is the thing you make, create, or end up with. The process is the set of practical steps, tricks, techniques, maneuvers, and rules of thumb that can be applied to help produce the product. An example of process versus product is dessert. If you want chocolate chip cookies, you can either make them or buy them from the store. Let's ignore the fact that chocolate chip cookies at the store are either super dry or loaded with preservatives. The process of baking cookies takes a bit of work, but it also takes a bit of skill and know-how. If you neglect the basic techniques of baking, of mixing the dough, sizing the clumps on the tray, adjusting the heat, timing when to remove them, you can still always just buy chocolate chip cookies instead. But without those skills to navigate the process, you'll never be able to try out new recipes and make more unique, fresh, and delicious types of cookies not available at the store. You'll also miss out on the intrinsic rewards of the process, the smells, the exercise of creativity, and the pride in a job well done as you take your first sample.